part of what he said. Not, oh, part of this, and then I'm going to go and do this. Follow the Diamond Rush training exactly. And you will have success beyond your wildest dreams. So I want everyone to raise your hand because I have your commitment right now that I am going to be recognizing you as diamond or above in 200 days or less. Raise your hands. Raise them high. Because I now have your commitment that I'm going to be recognizing all of you on the stage in Tampa. And you guys are never going to forget this moment. Let's get to your feet, because now we're about to bring out our founder and CEO, Bob REINA. Bob, please join me on the stage, ladies and gentlemen. Bob REINA.
Again, thank you for yesterday. Absolutely an incredible time. I enjoyed it. Today is equally as important. I want to tell you my story in this industry so that all of you can understand where I'm coming from. I started in the industry almost 23 years ago when I was a policeman. I just simply wanted to make money like everybody sitting in this room and like everybody in the world. And what I used to do as a policeman is we used to work off-duty jobs. So once a month, we would go down to the operations center of the sheriff's office. We would stick our ID card in a hat. They would draw the ID cards out. If yours was the first one out, there was a table set up here where you could sign up for whatever off-duty jobs you wanted to work. Whether it was security at a skating rink or at a construction site or at a business, and we got paid extra. It was back then it was $17 an hour to work off-duty jobs. So that was how I would make an extra $1,000 a month. But one week we would work 60 hours. My normal work week was 60 hours, and if I worked off-duty jobs after that 60 hours, you would get really tired. And then on the 24-hour week, you could work some, but I found out very quickly that you could make maybe an extra $1,200 or $1,500 a month, and that was all that you had the potential to earn. So I was looking for a way to earn more income. So I happened to be working an off-duty job one day at a church directing traffic, and a gentleman came up to me and asked me if I had ever heard of Amway, which I had not at that time. And he was trying to recruit me into Amway. Lo and behold, a couple weeks later, somebody else came up to me about another company that marketed nutrition. I said, golly, I took the product made sense. So I got started on my network marketing career. For the first 30 days, let me tell you what I discovered very early on. I could do the business. I was signing people up left and right easily. I was a recruiting machine. I would even call it ignorance on fire. Didn't know what I was doing, but I was signing people up. What I learned about the 31st day is that people were dropping out just as fast as I could sign them up. So in other words, what I was doing is I was using my individual skill set to sign people up, but that behavior could not be duplicated. So to me, it made no sense to sign them up and then they fall out faster than I signed them up. Doesn't make sense, does it? So I had to concentrate on building systems that I knew that not only would it work for me, it could work for anybody. And here's the number one rule that I want you to walk away from today, is this. To build a proper network marketing organization, the universal principle is this. Not whether it works for me, duplicated by everybody. This is why I built the Diamond Rush system for Top Fusion, because it doesn't matter where you live, it doesn't matter what your education level is, it doesn't matter what your occupation is, you can do this, you can follow these steps. So again, I'm going to say it to you. The universal principle is this: not whether it works for you, but whether it can be duplicated by everybody. I promise you, every single top earner in this company is following the Diamond Rush system. Every single one. People that are not on stage, people that are not top earners, there's one reason why, is because they're trying to do something else. Or they're lazy. One or the other. Fair enough? One of the things that I like now that we're a little bit more of a casual atmosphere is I like to be very straightforward and just basically tell it like it is. So we're about to get started. So my success in the industry comes from putting systems forward that can be duplicated and by having other people follow the system. So because of that, I was able to make the transition from very successful associate. I mean, when I was in the field, easily there was not a company where I was making less than $50,000 a month. Never. I was always making at least that and up. And that was back in the day when there really wasn't any internet. We had fax on demand. We did. We were using prepaid phone cards. And kind of take it back in time. There was no corporate computer systems to tell you what your paycheck was. I mean, it was old times, old school, if you will. But I was still able to generate, significant income. So now, what I wanted to do to kind of show you, because systems, I built systems, I kind of want to show you a little bit of what the result of those systems were, the benefits. So take a peek. What this is it's a new corporate yacht that we just bought. You see on the back, it says powered by Top Fusion, right? Which is what it is, it's powered by. So I'll show you a really quick video if you'd like to see a video. Here's a universal principle of wealth. You learn from those who are wealthy. Makes sense, right? If you want to be broke, then you take the advice of broke people. If you want to be wealthy, you take the advice of people that are wealthy. So please pay attention. So I remember so often in all my years in networking, I would go to the conventions and I would see people up on stage getting the awards, and I used to wonder, golly, in my early days, what did they do to get up on stage? So that was a lot of the inspiration for the Diamond Train. So if you're one of the people that is sitting out there and you weren't up on stage yesterday, please pay very close attention. Even if you were up on stage and you didn't have every single person in your team up here with you, then guess what? You need to pay attention. So please make sure that you take good notes and that you take everything that I say to heart, because it can help propel your business to the next level. Diamond Rush. Here's what we're here to teach you how to do today. To teach you how to go from zero, whether you're earning income or not, pretend today that you're starting your business from scratch. So I'm going to teach you today how to go from zero to diamond in 200 days or less. Fair enough? Diamond, for those of you that don't know, means it's equivalent to 2,500 US in income in a week, or 100,000 a year. Now everybody knows that I can't promise you income. I can just teach you what you need to do in order to generate that income. Everybody understands the difference, right? It's all up to you. I'm putting it out there for you. You have to put good old-fashioned sweat equity into it in order to get there. So I have a question for you. What would you do with an extra $2,500 a week? I ask people, and I'm telling you, if you want to prove this to yourself, you go ask anybody, whether you're in the Czech Republic, whether you're in the United States, whether you're in Germany, it doesn't matter where you are. I always ask people the dream question. If you had all the money in the world and all the free time to enjoy it, how would your life be different? When I ask people that question, I stop. And I tell them, I'm going to ask you a question that probably nobody has ever asked you before. Because that gets their curiosity right out of the gate. Right? They say, okay, what's the question? Then that's the question. And then I ask them, would you live in the same house? And I'm telling you, everybody always says, nope, I would not live in the house I'm living in now. I ask, would you drive the same car? Nope, I would not drive the same car. I'll buy a new car. And I ask them, what kind of car would you buy? Would you pay off credit card bills? Who in this room has credit card bills? Oh, come on, I know some of you more than you. Credit card bills, that's universal language. Okay? I asked them, would you take more vacations? Who would like to go on more vacations? Ah, look, yeah, vacation hands go up. Who would like to be able to give more money to friends, family, loved ones, etc.? Look at all the hands. Look around you. And then also, who would like to be able to spend more time with friends, family, loved ones, etc.? Look at that. Because let's face it, you cannot buy time. This industry is the only one that I know of where you can actually earn time and money freedom. It's both. There's a lot of people in the world that have money, they're wealthy material-wise, but they have no free time. So that's not a good value proposition. There's also a lot of people who have a lot of free time, but their pockets are empty. That's not really that good either, is it? So this industry that we're in gives you the opportunity to earn both time and money freedom. And I tell people this, and I mean this, treat this business as if your life depends upon it, because it does. Does everybody understand the serious nature of what we're doing here? This is a profession. It's an honorable profession. It's not a game. It's not a hobby. It's a profession. And it should be treated as such. Let me say it again. The universal principle behind properly building a network marketing business or relationship marketing is not whether it works for you, but it can be duplicated by everyone. Can I tell you something that irritates me sometimes? Can I be that frank with you? I love when people come up with these, quote, systems that try to build a business that they charge people for that don't work for everybody. It's ridiculous. I'm not charging you anything for this knowledge. I'm giving it to you. I want you to be successful. It's $0 to you. So, again, there are a lot of, quote, systems that people, a lot of them are online lead systems. They don't work. Let me tell you why they don't work. They might work for one person, they might work for two people, but they don't work for everybody. And what I'm going to talk about later is you'll see, you need to get out of the realm. People need to understand the difference between selling and telling. People don't like to sell. And the reason why that is because people fear rejection. Nobody in this room likes to get rejected. But a lot of these things that people offer to try to help you build a business, it does not help. It hurts you. So what we've created is 4 very simple steps There's just 4 to help you. First one is invite prospects. I mean, how hard is it to ask somebody if they'd be willing to take a look at something where they can earn extra income? It's easy. And we'll go through what to say to those people. But anybody, okay, watch us. Raise your hand if you can ask somebody if they're interested in making extra money. Just raise your hand. Just keep your hands up for a second. Just keep them up. There we go. Look around the room. Just please keep them up. Second thing. Please keep your hand up. I want to see who put on deodorant today. No, see. See a little bit of a delay here. This is a fast crowd here. Second thing, can you ask somebody to attend a live presentation? Can you do that? Where somebody who's very successful in the business is telling the story. Can you do that? Okay, put your hands down. Thank you. So far, we're batting 1,000. Everybody can do step 1. Everybody can do step 2. After that, can you ask somebody to go to do a 3-way call? Can you introduce somebody on the phone to meet a new friend? Can you do that? Raise your hand. Okay, very good. And then the last one, step 4, is just getting people plugged in to steps 1 through 3. Can you do that? I mean, that's it. Okay, training's over. Thank you for having me. No. Okay, now, this is what I want to talk about. I'm going to focus on each particular step. Step 1 is the invitation. Let me tell you this. If your invitation stinks, you'll never be able to get somebody to the next step. Does that make sense? Everybody understand the importance of that. People that are pros in this business, people that have the big checks, they are professional inviters. They learn how to get really good at inviting. And I'll be honest with you, your first invitation will not be as good as your last. I like to say you can't look good and practice at the same time. So the more you invite, the better you will become. But let's talk about for a second. Who are you looking for when you're inviting somebody to take a look at the business? Number 1, a lot of people said it yesterday, we're in a lifestyle business. Yes, we are. So who are you looking for? You're looking for people who want more than what they currently have. You'll find a ton of those folks anywhere. Go to any major city at 5 o'clock in the afternoon and ask people if they like sitting in traffic. They don't. You want people who want more than what they currently have. You want people that want to go places that they've never gone. I mean, can you imagine, when I'm here, I ask people all the time, have you ever been to the States? And a lot of people here have not. Oh, but I would love to go to Florida. I would love to do this. Well, I have a business that can help you do that. Easy. What about people? I mean, think about this. We talked about this a lot yesterday. People who want to help people. Do you know how good of a feeling it is to help other people that don't expect it? There's no better feeling. The old expression, you either brighten a room when you come in, or you brighten it when you leave. Which is it? Think about that. Let's make sure we get the translation right on that one. People that are tired of being average. People that, is this business for average people? And I always tell them no. It's for people who are tired of being average. There's a big difference. Do you have more in you than what your job allows you to earn? When I mean more, I mean in here. Do you have more worth? Because the truth of the matter is this. Most people are at a job with people they don't like. They're being underpaid. They have no future in, but they feel trapped. This industry can allow you not to be trapped if you do it right. Another big one, huge. What about people that still have dreams and are willing to do something about it? Everybody has dreams. When you were a little boy or a little girl, you wanted to be something or do something. So what happened is along the way, life got in the way. And somebody told you that this is as good as you can be. You're only as good as making $30,000 a year. You're only as good as making $40,000 a year. You'll never have that house. You'll never have that car. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. There's nothing special about me. I was a policeman. I have no sales skills, nothing skills. I was a policeman. Do you ever, people ask me all the time, that's one of the questions that I get all the time, is this. How did you go from being a policeman to being the CEO of a very successful company? And my answer is always the same. It's because I had dreams. That's how. I like people, and I had dreams. That's it. Does that make sense? And then also, here's another last key. People that are excited about earning money from homes, right? Some of you aren't excited enough sometimes. You're not. I'm telling you, people that win in life, they're excited all the time. Winners, you're not excited for an hour. You're not excited for 5 days. You're not excited for 30 days. You're excited for your life. Does that make sense to you? People like to be around excited people. People don't like being around people with frowns. They go away from them. So another big key, and I'll talk about it, is excitement. The second you get into business, if you have not done this, like I told you, you need to start right now. You need to start with a top 20 prospect list. I already told you who you're looking for. So you need to write down the name, phone number, contact information of top 20 prospects. Now, we are in relationship marketing. So the people that you're looking for right out the gate are people that you have a relationship with. People that will give you the benefit of the doubt to listen to what you're about to say. That's all you need. Okay? Telling is when you go tell friends, family members, business colleagues about a great opportunity. That's telling. Selling, which is a no-no, is when you're going to convince strangers about something. You see the difference? Tell, good. Sell, no good. See the difference? And do not ever prejudge anybody. I see it all the time. This person, I don't think that'd be good for the business. Do not ever do that, because you don't know until you ask. Some of the people, I promise you, some of the people that are top earners in this company swore they would never do another network marketing business again. They had written it off. But their life circumstances told them differently. So do not ever prejudge. So you write down as fast as you can the names of your top 20 prospects. Now, I'm going to ask you again, can everybody in this room write down the names of the top 20 prospects? I didn't say to raise your hand. No, kidding. Everybody can do it though, right? Raise your hand if you can do it. See? Easy stuff. So at the end of the day, I'm going to ask you if I've asked any of you to do something that you cannot do. Is that fair enough? Because so far, everybody has said, Bob, I can do that. So if you can do it the whole way through, at the end, that means that you're there, right? Does that make sense? Okay. you write down the names of your top 20, you need to make your warm market list, your initial list of 200 people. And if you need help, in page 6 of the Diamond Rush Guide, there's memory joggers there. Why 200 people? I'll explain to you why 200. But you start, here's what you do. You write down the names of your top 20. You start inviting them right off the bat. While you're inviting them, you continue to build your list. What a bad mistake, what I see people do is this. They write down the names of 5 people. Their invitation stinks. It does not have excitement. The people naturally tell them no, and they're like, this business is not for me. Wrong thing to do. Write down the names of your top 20. Make your initial list 200. Remember what I told you. The more you invite, the better that you will get. So, initial list, 20, top 20 prospects. Keep on writing until your list is 200. Here's something else too. Right, the average person, they say, meets about 10 to 15 new people a week. So always continuously add to your list. Always. Your list is a dynamic, growing list. It's not static. So your average list should be growing by 10 to 15 people, at least a week. And as you meet new people, write it down. Okay, this is key. Very key. This point, 90%, at least 90% of an effective invitation is excitement. Excitement. And here's the funny thing. Excitement is free. It doesn't cost anything. When the business moves from your head to your heart, when your belief gets big, that's when you get excited. When you make the connection on how Talk Fusion can help you reach your dreams, get excited. If you stop dreaming, start dreaming. Get excited. Some of you, I've listened to your invitations, they're boring. Whew. Not good. It put me to sleep. Excitement. Can everybody get excited? You call that excitement? Before, I was a little worried about you. Or a lot worried about you. But excitement. You know, I ask people this all the time. Let's just say there was $1 million in a locker somewhere in an airport, hidden in an airport. And there was one key in the world that could open that locker. How much would that key be worth? I had somebody ask me, what's the key made of? Aluminum. Who cares what the keys are made of? The fact of the matter is, it can open the locker to get me to that $1 million, to that dream. With Talk Fusion, it's the vehicle. What's important about Talk Fusion is the vehicle that can take you to your dreams. Most people are just in the wrong vehicle. Does that make sense to you? Because when I ask people that dream question, if you had all the money in the world, all the free time to enjoy it, how would your life be different? Would you be in the same house? No. Would you be in the same car? No. Would you take more vacations? Yes. Would you pay off credit card bills? Yes. Would you help friends, family with money? Yes. Would you donate more money? Yes. I ask them, can you get all of that through what you're currently doing right now? No. And I look right at them and I say, then why are you wasting your time? I don't tell people to go quit their jobs. What I just point out to them is that they are in the wrong vehicle to make money, and I can show them something else to help them make an extra $300, $500 a month, or even more, depends upon how big their dreams are and how hard they want to work. But beyond any doubt, we've established that the whole world needs what we're doing. We know that part. So if you understand that, then you understand that you have to be excited all the time. You got to be up all the time. You can't, oh, well, you know, I found this thing and they have this product and, you know. Would you like to join me? You got to get fired up, man. Listen, we were just in Russia. There's some fired up people in Russia, boy. Fired up. Let me explain to you the difference, okay? People that are excited are the ones that are making money. People that are making money are people that were excited when they started the business. You see the difference? You don't all of a sudden become excited because you're making money. It's not it. It doesn't work like that. You don't go from to making money like this. It's your mindset determines it. So you got to get fired up. You got to get excited. Does everybody get that part? Whatever that means, thank you. No, I'm kidding. Now, here's something else you have to do. You have to take action immediately. You have to get off your butt and start working. This is what happens with some people, right? They get in the business, they think that the second that you got in the business, that something great happened. That's when the work starts. Anybody can sign up, anybody can buy product, that's optional. Anybody can do that. You don't need anything but a credit card and a passport. The true magic begins the second, somebody's on delay. Yeah. The true magic begins the second you sign up. That's when the clock ticks. Tick, 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 tick. And I'll teach you something. The moment that somebody signs up, that will be the closest that they'll ever be to relating Talk Fusion and their dreams and how the two can come true together. Does that make sense? The longer you sit and wait and do nothing, life will get in the way. You'll go back to living your life of mediocrity, is what will happen to you. So the second you get in the business, you need to start inviting people instantly. Your top 20 need to be invited within 72 hours. Let me say that again. Your top 20 prospects need to be invited within 72 hours. Now let me prove to you something about it. I like numbers. Numbers tell a lot. Back home in the States, right, you get report cards when you go to school, and I know everybody else in the world, you do too, right? From 90 to 100% is an A, right, which is good. 80 to 90 is B, which is good, but not the best, and so on. So what I'm asking you to do is, out of those top 20 prospects, do you think that there's 2 people out of those 20 that will get excited about changing their lives? That's only 10%. The key is you got to start running your mouth and get excited. They're not going to come jump into business on their own. I like to figure that part out. So 2 out of 20 is what you need. Urgency. I call it set, and I'll talk about it more. 72 hours fly or die. What you do in the first 72 hours of your business will determine your level of success. I promise you it will. People that are top earners, they started excited, they took action right out of the bat, they started inviting people, those people got into the business, they kept those people excited. We worked with those excited people's people, they got excited, and guess what? Everybody's feeling instant pay the whole way. The people that don't do well, this is what they do. I call them grinders. They get ready to get ready. They go read the website 15 times. They send 14 stupid product suggestions. They read the comp plan 8 times. But they never invite one person. No. You get paid when 2 things happen in this business. When an associate signs up and they make the decision to buy product, or when somebody becomes a customer and buy product. Those are the 2 revenue-producing activities you need to pay attention to. If anything that you do is not related to those 2, you're doing it wrong. It's a waste of time and money. Some people, they want to be professional trainers. If you want to know about the product, use the product. We have tutorials for every product that are being updated for all the new languages that we're doing and all the new products that we're doing. But there's PDF tutorials, there's video tutorials. If you want to use the product, learn the product, read the tutorials, use the product. If you want to learn how to make money, read the Diamond Rush Guide. You see the difference? Products are extremely important. But there's tutorials there to help you, just like there's tutorials here to help you. You want to know the best invitations? I always use the dream invitation. It's on page 8 of the Diamond Rush Guide. That works best for me. There's other examples there, but I'm telling you, you ask people the dream question, you'll get them where you need them to be. Here we go. So many of you, when you do the invitations, here's how it goes. Well, you know, we have this really cool video email product with this compression technology, and it works on PCs and Macs, and a proper invitation never talks about product features and functionality. What you want to do when you're addressing the product, you want to talk about the timing of the product. Timing of the product. Think about this for a second. The history of communication. We started with what? The spoken word, talking. Then comes what? Television, which adds pictures to the spoken word. Then in 1971 comes email, which is what? The written word. Then what? Here comes video email, which is adding pictures to the written word. So do you see how this whole video phenomenon is really changing the way that people communicate? Does everybody understand that? So one is product time. It's huge. This is what I got 5 years ago when people were laughing at me. It's changing the way that people communicate. That's what, if you're talking product, that's what you want to talk to somebody about. It's product timing. By the year 2015, 90% of all internet traffic will be video-based. And I promise you, wealthy people, here's what they do. They find out where the masses are going and they get there first. Not only do they get there first, but they stay there. And this is another point. You know, in life there will always be imitators, right? And there's always be other companies that come about, which is great. I love competition, okay? But people do not try to imitate second best. Remember that. So when, you know, I hear something, do you hear about this company, you hear about that company? No. I'm too busy doing what we're doing. Because we're already number one. So imitations, important. Product timing. Explain now why now's the time to get involved. It's important. Okay, here's something else too. I love this. Some of you, if you ask somebody to take a look at the business and they tell you no, this is what you do. Are you kidding me? It happens in life. People will tell you no. It's okay. I promise you it's okay. I promise you I've been rejected more in this room than anybody. I've been laughed at. I'll tell you a true story. My own mom and my own dad don't even understand what I do. They don't. They don't get it. It's true. But I don't try to convince them. My own brother. They don't understand the mindset, but it's okay. I don't begrudge them for it. But I think it's kind of funny when my brother wants to take the vote in my car. What I mean to tell you is this. You have to develop power attitude. Power. If they tell you no, so what? It's their loss, not yours. You know how many millions of people are in the world that need an opportunity? It just means too, and here's what I do. If somebody tells me no, that just means that my invitation just got better. Because it was practice. So you haven't lost, you've gained. Even when people are telling you no, you're gaining. It's kind of like flipping through a deck of cards. Boom, boom, boom. You're looking for aces, right? So the more that you flip, the more people that you talk to, the closer you will be to finding that person. So the power attitude is some will, some won't, so what next? Because many times too, people tell you no now. No doesn't mean forever. Because circumstances change. Plus, when you earn your Mercedes, you go up and I'll teach you a little trick. You earn your Mercedes, then you go in front of your house and start beating the horn. And you make them come outside. Did you see him wave? Hi. How please you? Okay, invitation tips. Like I said, learn how to become a professional inviter. A good invitation should just be like a minute long, maybe a minute to two, no more. That's it. Get in and get out. Excitement, invitation. Excitement, invitation. Excitement, invitation. Now, here's what some of you do. I call it puking. Puking. Is this universal for puke? You try to invite and explain the opportunity in one motion. Now, do not do that. An invitation is an invitation. Remember this too. You always have to keep things simple, because in the back of somebody's mind, when you're talking to them, they're wondering, man, can I do this? Whether they tell you that or not, they are. So you have to keep things, get excited, a minute or two invitation, and then we're going to take it to the next step, and I'll show you what the next step is. Here's in a second. It's the presentation. So everybody's with me so far. You get excited? You can write down the names of 20 people that you know that want to make money, right? That are friends, family. And somebody said to me something so stupid one time. They said, why do you want to make money with your friends? What? Who do I want to make money with? People I hate? I mean, think about that. So again, excitement. 90% is excitement. 1 to 2 minute invitation. Hit them with the dream question, and then guess what? Direct them towards a presentation, which is step 2, the presentation. Now, we have about 25 of them a day going on online, or some of you like to do in-person presentations. Either works. Here's the deal though. If you are new, do not do the presentation, because you will stink. And there is nothing worse than an amateur salesperson. So you want to direct people towards the presentation that are being conducted by the best. Does that make sense? So all you are doing, again, is you are directing people to the presentation. You're not doing it, you're directing it. So can everybody direct people to a presentation? Okay. Now when's the next one? Let me tell you what the best presentation is the very next one that's going on. This is why we have instant pay. Now here's what some of you do, which is not right. Well, you tell me when you can be at the next one. Well, I think I have to make the next one in 2 weeks. Oh, okay. Okay. I'll call you in 2 weeks if that's okay. No. Man, let me explain it to you. People all over the world are changing lives with Talk Fusion. The next online presentation is going to take 20 minutes. It's going to be at 2 o'clock. I'm going to call you at 5 minutes till 2 to make sure you're going to be on there. You're going to hear stories of people that are changing their lives. Bam. And you make sure they have the link to the presentation. That's all you do. You just get them there. You get them there. That's it. That's all your job is. Your job is to expose them to the presentation. Not to do the presentation. Expose them to the presentation. Does everybody understand that difference? these questions if they try beforehand. Well, tell me about the products. Nope, you'll learn about it. You'll learn about it during the presentation. You'll see them in action. I mean, one of the big advantages we have as a company is this. We use our product to build a business. So they get to see it while they're evaluating the opportunity. So the presentation, guess what? Will help you develop your customers because they see the product. It'll also help you develop your associate base because they see the product and the opportunity. Does that make sense? See how smart that is? Right? And here's something else. Let me just say this note too. If you were the one doing all the presentations yourself, you can only do one at a time, right? Leverage your time. Invite 5 or 10 people to the same presentation. That way you have 10 prospects to talk to right after the presentation. Does that make sense? Time is money. If you want to make $500,000 a year, a lot of people don't realize this. If you want to make $500,000 a year, your time is valued at $4.17 a minute. That's working 40 hours a week and taking 2 weeks vacation. So you need to start thinking about your time. Time is money. So when people come up to you and want to waste your time, I always think, my gosh, is this $4.17 a minute? And I want to make a lot more than $500,000 a year. I mean, I do. Does that make sense to you? So leverage your time by getting people on the presentation. So can everybody just direct people towards the presentation? So we've got step 1 done, step 2 done. Are we excited about step 1? Listen up, folks. I'm not trying to sell you insurance. I'm trying to change your lives. Let's get excited. Can you direct people to a presentation? Now we're halfway home. Let me tell you about step 3. This is one that people think that you don't need to do, and it's funny because it's one of all of them are extremely critical. It's kind of like, for those of you that cook, if you take a main ingredient out of the cake, it's not going to taste too good, is it? Same thing here. If you remove, change any of this, it will be no good. So the 3-way call. Here's what you do right after the presentation. You make sure that you have somebody in your upline which is good and making money in Talk Fusion. This can be done in person. We say 3-way call, on the phone or in person. And what you do is this. It's really easy. All you do is introduce your new prospect to your upline. Make the introduction, make the connection. And then what do? Then you shut up. Okay, let's practice our 3-way call. Everybody. So here's what I would do. If Ben Ho was my prospect and Rob Roeder, I'm building a business with Rob, I would say, hey, listen, I'd like to introduce you to Ben Ho. Ben Ho and his wife Julie, they're great folks. They had a real estate business which was not doing the best. They have a need to make money now. That same team that you saw in the presentation, that's creating all the success. Those will be the people that we're working with. Right? I'd like to introduce you to Rob Roeder. He's doing extremely well in the business. Rob wants to tell you about his story right now. And I shut up. I let Rob's the expert. I let Rob close out my prospects for me. I'm new, what do I know? Rob overcomes all the objections. Rob answers all the questions. And then, but you know what I'm doing? I'm learning. I'm taking notes at what Rob's saying. I'm an active listener. Because soon, I will be doing the calls for my team. Does that make sense? So all you want to do is be a people introducer. That's what a three-way call is. At first, you will not be doing them. You will just be connecting people. Does that make sense? Now, here's some keys. Here's things to look for and listen for. It's called form. They say mastery is when you overcome an objection before you get it. Let me tell you how you master this. Form. Tell me a little bit about your family. I promise you, everybody in the world wants to spend more time with their family. Well, most people, some of them maybe not. But people want to spend more time with their kids, right? They don't have family time. That's a common denominator. Occupation. Most people are underpaid and don't value their job. Everybody shares that in common, right? Okay, let me ask you a question. For those of you in this room that work a job, you raise your hand if you absolutely love it and you can't wait to get there on Monday morning. Okay, look around. Maybe 5 people. Then what are you doing here? No, I'm kidding. Occupation. Next one is recreation. Who has all the free time in the world they could ever want to go do the hobbies that they want? People ask me all the time. I ask them, could you walk your dog Tuesday at 10 o'clock in the morning if you wanted to? No, I've got to be at work. Let's go eat lunch Wednesday at 4 o'clock. Can't, I've got to be at work. What about Friday? Can't do that either. Let me tell you really what happens in life, okay? Monday morning, the alarm clock, 6 o'clock goes off in the morning. People hit snooze on the alarm clock because they know they have to get up to go to a job that they don't like. They hit snooze. So they'll stop on the way to work to go get the fast food breakfast, McDonald's, Burger King, Kentucky Fried Chicken, whatever. They go into work with people they don't like, the job they have no future in, and they keep looking at their watch until 5 o'clock comes about, right? Ain't another day. 5 o'clock comes, they go home. They'll probably stop and get a fast food dinner on the way home, which adds to the waistline. They'll sit in front of the TV, the remote controller, for about 2 hours, trying to forget about the lousy day they just had. That sound familiar to anybody? Then guess what? They go to bed at about 10 o'clock and wake up and do it all over again. Tuesday morning comes along, guess what? Same thing. Wednesday, same thing. Thursday, same thing. Friday, same thing until Friday at 5 o'clock. People get excited. Why is that? It's the weekend and they got paid. They got paid. But guess what? Most people, they've already spent that check. And the next 5. The average person back home, for every dollar they earn, they spend $1.30. It's not a good recipe. Here comes the weekend. They try to forget about Monday through Friday. They do it all over again. That's craziness. Craziness. So occupation, you know, most people are not where they want to be. Recreation, most people are not where they want to be. And the last one, money, I promise you, most people are not where they want to be. So every single person that you talk to, even if they're strangers to you, you have that in common with them. Does that make sense? So you're building a relationship with them. And it's a funny thing because guess what? We're in relationship marketing. And if you look at, I give to you, the Dynamir's got a prospect tracking log, which allows you to track each step of the 4-step process with each person, so that way you can follow through. Talked about urgency when you're doing the 3-way calls. The urgency of the timing of the opportunity. You want to get involved with this now? Here's why. Me, when I was inviting people to presentations, I would have 5 different people on there. I tell them, the first one in has the other 4 people underneath them. Is that going to be you? Do you want to be on level 1 or do you want to be on level 41? Which is it? If somebody tells me, well, I have to think about it. Let's think about what? Look where thinking has gotten you all these years. You're broke. What are you thinking about? We're talking about, even if you just buy the starter product, about $125. What is there to think about? Come on. You don't need 14 attorneys, 13 accountants, and 10 financial guys to figure it out that you need something to change your life. You have to think about it. Everybody get that? Urgency. I'm looking for people that want to change their lives now, not next Tuesday. I'll give you a real life example. The other day, we had an office visitor who was interested in the business. This is the way that it was presented to me. So he comes in, I went into the office, I was offsite at a meeting. Allie met him, gave him a tour, and then he started asking for product samples. Let me see a recorded broadcast and all this weird stuff, which it tells you his thinking's in the wrong spot. So the guy, he should have been a customer instead of an associate. If all you're interested in is product, then we're glad to have you. We have more users of the product that are not participants in the comp plan than we do that are. But he was approaching the business the wrong way. He was interested in all this product functionality. So when when his sponsor called him back to see, he goes, yeah, I like the product. I'll get involved next Tuesday. Which is like 5 days later. I said, next Tuesday? I get offended. Don't come to my office and take our time and then tell me you want to get involved next Tuesday. So we got his upline on the phone and we had to do some coaching. What are you doing? I said, no, you're approaching it wrong. I said, does this person want to make money, yes or no? Yep. Get excited. Call him up. You're excited. Get him excited. And guess what? Naturally, the person, he turned around and got in the business that day. It's amazing what happens when people get excited how they can find money very fast. People go, I have to wait till my next 3 checks come in before I can get started. But if people see it, guess what? I tell people, get off the couch you're sitting on and sell it. Sell your TV if you have to. It's not making any money. Show me a TV that's making any money. So urgency, excitement. Here's what will happen. Opportunity, I'm telling you, is all about what you'll get. People say, yep, I see what you're doing, I want in now. Those are called yes nows. Those are the people that you pay attention to. You get them signed up right now. But stop patting yourself on the back. Signing somebody up is easy. Once you get them, then you start up right off the bat. Let's get your 20 prospects going. Let's get their name down. How do you know they wrote them down? You ask them. Did you write down the names? Tell me the names. Who are the names? Let's go. Let's get them on the phone. Let's start inviting. Does that make sense? Not let's get somebody signed up and wait 2 weeks. That's what some of you do. And it can't be that way. So urgency, excitement, excitement. So you have, guess what? Yes now, then you have yes later, which means yes, but I still have a few questions. To me, a few questions, your questions are getting answered now. You're not going to come up with a few questions later. Let's get them answered now. That's why you have somebody on the phone with you that can help them answer the questions. Everybody understand that? You also have people that will tell you, yep, I love your product, but the opportunity is not for me now. So you're, by default, by showing somebody the business, you're automatically developing a huge customer list too. Do you see that? You're doing it by default, which is great. Then you have people that are customers. Sign them up as customers. Remember what I told you. 2 things you get paid on. Somebody becomes an associate and they make the decision to buy the product, and or somebody becomes a customer. I'm happy when people become customers. Y'all should be extremely happy too. Because guess what? Each time that they turn around and send out a video email, it's a moving advertisement for your business. On the bottom, learn more, click here. That's why we do that. Even customers can make you money. Because I don't know if you know it or not, but at the bottom of that template, if they're a customer, when they click it and you're the sponsor of that customer, it will take them to your website. Because customers can't sponsor people. And then last but not least, you have people that say no, never, which I think is funny. Network marketing top earners are filled with people that said no, never. I promise you, even our own top leaders, this is not the first company they've worked. It's not. They just didn't do that right. Does that make sense? So you have yes now. Yes, I still have a few questions, which to me really is a yes now. You have no to the opportunity, but I want to buy the product. Then you have no, never. The no, nevers, those are the ones you go buy the house and beat the horn to in your new car. All right, we're getting ready to take a break here in a second. I want to go over this last slide, which is important. Proper duplication means you do those 4 steps the same each time. Invite, presentation, 3-way call, boom. Follow it up. I will put an open challenge out to anybody. You show me anybody in this company that is not following the Diamond Rush training, that's making money, they don't exist. I promise you they don't exist. I pay people's checks, I know what people make, they don't exist. And they won't exist. So you have to make sure that you do the 4 steps the same each time. Again, don't do everything yourself. Lead by example. This is so very critical. People don't pay attention to what you say. People pay attention to what you do. A lot of people, they give what I call cheap lip service. They tell you what they think you want to hear. I don't listen to that. I watch what people do. And believe me, so are others. So, when you're talking Diamond Rush, do Diamond Rush. You got to do it. And this is something else as well, which is critical. People will join the business because of their belief in you. Don't ever be fake. Don't ever pressure people. What you can do is put it in front of them, give it your best shot, and let them make the decision. But remember what I said, though, earlier. Because it's called the old BLT. If they believe you, they like you, and they trust you, they will join your business. BLT. Believe, like, and trust. Now, I'm going to go back to the original question I asked you. Can everybody invite somebody with excitement? Let me put it this way. This company is going to be the next billion-dollar brand in the industry. If you want to be with us, you better get excited more than what I just saw. So again, let me ask you the question. Can you invite people with excitement? Many times it's just even the slightest little adjustments. And most of it, though, it starts with the invitation. I'm going to tell you that right now. Most people, your invitations are just not good. So, again, I hope I've been of help to you in the first part of today. I need excitement. It means teaching all of your new associates to get plugged in up here to the support system. Think of it like an electrical socket. If you want to run a blender at home, if you don't plug it into the socket, the blender won't run. The same thing with your organization. If you don't get your organization plugged in to the 4 steps, your organization will not run. Now, remember, as I said before, people are never more excited from the moment they get started. So the time to get them moving into the system and getting plugged into the system is instantly. Don't wait 24 hours. Don't wait 48 hours. Don't wait a week. Don't wait at all. I mean, it needs to happen in one motion. Boom, you're signed up. The next step is this. Start writing the names of your 20 excited prospects. Now, I also said this. Anybody can enroll, but success is optional, and you choose it by your actions. Again, you choose it by your actions, and the only actions that you need to be taking is what we've talked about, in the Diamond Rush guide. Now, and again, 72 hours fly or die. Old expression. 72 hours fly or die, which means your business will either soar or it will die by what you do in the first 72 hours. If you let people procrastinate, I'm telling you, it's a tough struggle to get them going again. So it's so much easier and more pleasurable, a lot more fun in the business. I mean, let's think about it. Is it more fun making money or not? So if somebody went bronze in 72 hours and they got a couple of emails that they've earned fast start bonuses and that they've earned a commission check, do you think they'd be a lot more excited? So it's earn while you learn. Remember, it's not learn and then earn later. It's earn while you learn. Make sense? And a good acronym for system is save yourself stress, time, energy, and money. Save yourself stress, time, energy, and money. That's what system means. So you don't have to go and figure anything out in this business. We've already done it for you. So system, save yourself stress, time, energy, and money. Why is this so important? This is a very important slide. The primary reason a system is so important that it helps ensure walkaway residual income. You no longer remain essential to the process, even if you retire. The system and your income will keep going. Now let's think about this for a second. One day we get older and we want to retire and enjoy life, right? So if you have to do everything yourself, if you don't follow the system, if you're the one doing all the presentations yourself, if you're the one doing all the three-way calls yourself, if you're the one doing all the inviting yourself, and you're never teaching your team to do it, the second you stop doing it, the second your income will go like this. So, in other words, you would just have a paying job, another job. You would never experience the time freedom of this. So you have to make sure that you teach your team these steps so that you yourself are not important to the whole system. Right now, I could walk away and the company would still grow. We have the system in place, right? Does that make sense to you? So make sure that you teach people the systems. The number one priority, the measuring stick, the litmus test, the test of all tests is this. How many people in your organization, including your leadership, is properly following the system? That's it. That's the question. If you have all your leaders doing it and they're leaders, your check will be great. If the answer to that question is not very many people, I promise you your check will not be great. It's even more so important than sales revenue. Because you can have an organization that gets out of the gate, makes a lot of sales at first, just on excitement, but they're not plugging people into a system, And you'll have a check that's high one month and then lower the next month. You have to start them on the system right out of the gate, because that means your check will go like this, like this, like this, like this, and like this, which is where you want it to be. That's when you'll see the rank increase. So again, the only true measure of the strength of your organization is how many people, including your leadership, that are properly plugged in and are following the system. Urgency. Remember I talked about excitement, the invitation has to be exciting, right? So does your urgency to help them go bronze in 72 hours. It's just as important. Getting somebody bronze in 72 hours will do this. It will make a major transformation for them. From being the ones needing to be motivated to the ones doing the motivation. Does that make sense? That's when it'll go from here to here. Is when people start earning money. You'll get instant momentum. The whole key to this business is bronze maker. Bronze maker. That's all there is. In 72 hours, bronze maker. Do you realize this? That if all you did is teach your folks to go bronze maker, and let's just say that you started your business today, that you would wind up with more than 2,000 people in your organization in the first month alone. Can you imagine? Who would like to have 2,000 people in their group in the first month? Raise your hands. So concentrate. Bronze maker. Now, I told you when you make your top 20 list, people that are top earners in this business, they always work in their warm market. Now, what do I mean by warm market? Warm market means people that you have a pre-existing relationship with. Friends, family members, colleagues, people that you buy your car from, people that you know on a first-name basis. Think of it this way. If you are having a party at your house, who likes to have a party? What? Y'all are too sad about the jobs, that's what it is. If you're having a party at your house, who would you invite? Friends, family? It's warm market. Here's why. Another word for our industry is relationship marketing. So you talk to people with whom you already have a relationship with. Because friends do what friends do. Why is social media so important and so big? It's relationship marketing. Does that make sense? So, again, remember I told you about the BLT, the believe, the like, the trust? This relationship, this industry is built on relationships and on trust. Strangers don't trust you. If you have to convince somebody that you just met to buy something, that's selling. If you are telling somebody that you care about an opportunity to change their life, that's telling. You're sharing. You see the difference? So I always teach people to stay within warm market. Here's something you must ask yourself too. When you sponsor somebody in the business, are you working with them daily? Here's what I see a lot of people. You sponsor somebody in the business, right? Here's what you do, watch. You get them in, and then you'll hide. You'll pop out a week later. Hey, is there anything I can do to help you? Why isn't your check big yet? That's what you do. When I sponsor somebody in the business, man, You want to know what I would do? Want me to teach you what I would do? Man, I would put you in the business, and here's how it would go. As the second you're in it, welcome, here's your ID number. We're on the phone, your top 20 prospects, write them down. Guess what? I'm going to call them with you right now. I stay on the phone with them. You want to know why? That way I know it got done. And it got done right. Does that make sense? So I make the call with them. Because if I do the invitation, if their invitation is boring, then guess what? I'm taking over the invitation. It's money. If I'm successful, so are you, right? So if you're not doing something right, you're in my way of my dreams, so I want to help you do it right. So I'll help you invite. I'll help make sure they get to the presentation. Because I know if I get on the phone with them, they're getting to the presentation. They're there. Right after the presentation, we follow up right after. Guess what? Put them in the business. 2 and 72, bronze maker, let's go. Are you a pretender or are you a contender? Are you a champ or are you a chump? Which are you? Let's go. Are you going to lay down or are you going to get down? You a freak or are you a super freak? I'm a super freak, baby. Let's go. 2 and 72. Because I'd ask people, remember you said that brand new Mercedes you wanted to get? You're never going to get there like this. I always make sure the people that I'm working with, I always know what their dreams are. Because if they're doing great, I'll use it to pat them on their back. Man, we're one step closer to the dream. If you're being lazy, I'm going to whack you right upside the head with your dream. Forget about your dream, you'll never get it. Show me one person in life that's ever accomplished anything worthwhile that got it from being lazy. Doesn't happen. Some of you, I'm not going to mention names to protect the guilty. Some of you earn good money, but you got to get going. You're just getting started. Right? You got to get after it. You got to be hungry. 2 and 72, fly and die, act like your life depends on it. So you want to make sure that you're working with your personally sponsored daily and their personally sponsored daily. Let me tell you how this goes. You know how many times a day I talk to Rob Roeder? Probably 5 at least. Right? I have personally sponsored Rob. Min personally sponsored Rob. But guess what? Min can't be everywhere. Min's working with his personally sponsored people. And Min doesn't have an upline. So guess what? I work with Rob. So now we got 2 for 1 going, right? Rob gets me on the phone with Leslie, because Rob sponsored Leslie. Then Leslie, I get on the phone with Leslie and some of her personally sponsored people. So I'm working, and even their personally sponsored people. So I'm working at least 5 levels deep in my business, in the business. So you got to ask yourself, are you working with your personally sponsored people every day, including Sundays, including Saturdays? Some of you have lazy-itis. You have to work on the weekends. If you want to make it big in this business, you have to work on the weekends. That's when people are home. So are you working with your personally sponsored people? When I mean working, I don't mean doing a welcome wagon check, asking them how they're doing. No. I mean, let's talk business. Believe me, if I helped everybody in this room go diamond, you wouldn't like me, you would love me. And there's a difference. So again, you work and drive your people. You do not let your people tell you. You tell them. Because you want, here's the deal. Leaders lead. Leaders get people to do things that they ordinarily would not do on their own. That's a true sign of leadership. Ask these guys in the leadership team. Has there ever been one time that you've come to me and asked a question or the company's acting unprepared? No. We're on it. So you have to lead your people. People want to be led. Do you think, let me ask you, if you're lazy, your invitation stinks, you don't show up on presentations, you don't even know what the Diamond Rush Guide is, do you think you have a chance in the world of leading anybody else to success? You've doomed that person. And that's on you. Your responsibility is immense. I'm responsible for your financial well-being as much as you allow me to be. But you have to take ownership of it yourself. And when you sponsor somebody in the business, you're responsible for them. Can their kids go to private school? Can they take that vacation? You determine that. But here's the cool thing about it. If they do well, you get to go too. If you're selfish, you won't make it. I'm telling you right now. If you have a selfish heart, do yourself a favor and get out of business, because you won't make it in this industry. You won't do it. So you have to take your responsibility as a sponsor very seriously. Some of you, you don't even know the names of all your personally sponsored people. And the people that they sponsor, you don't know anything about them. You have to get to know these people. Remember the BLT, believe, like, trust. If they don't believe you, and believe me, they don't even like you, there's no way in the world they're going to trust you. You have nothing. You have zip. Does everybody get that? Very important. You can clap. What you do, as I said, you build the model, bronze maker. That's all you teach. Bronze maker. You build the model, duplicate the model. Build the model, duplicate the model. Now watch. Something very important called 20/20 vision. This is what it means. You personally sponsor 20 people on the left and 20 people on the right. Now, this is what I'm going to tell you. Some people, 20 people left, 20 people right. Let me ask you this. We all tell people, and we know it, this is a 2 to 5 year business plan. So the question I have for you is this. Do you know 40 people in your life over the next 5 years that will get serious about changing their life? That's the question. If somebody says no, you need to get new friends. So think about that. 20 left, 20 right. Here's how you do it. That will put you at diamond. Look at the numbers. Get at least one qualified prospect to attend a presentation every day. Out of that, 1 out of 5 you sponsor. You get better as you practice. That means you'll wind up with 6 personally sponsored associates over 30 days. Three in your left leg, 3 in your right leg. Next slide. There's how it goes out income-wise. You know I can't promise anybody income, but that's how the numbers flow when you sell the product. Very simple. So you have to decide. Here's the deal. If you're looking for 40, 20 left, 20 right, 1 out of 5 says yes. That means 40 times 5 is 200 people. So how fast can you go out and properly invite 200 people? How fast? If your dreams are on the line and your life's on the line, it better be fast. Here's what happens. Why do we say 20 people? People in life quit things. They quit on marriages. They quit on their religion. They quit on their family. They quit on their jobs. They quit on themselves. People are people. Why they quit? I don't care. People quit in this business. We know this. So out of every 20 people that you personally sponsor, 3 to 5 will engage the business. We know this. 3 to 5 will engage the business with or without you. It's like flipping through 20 oysters. How many pearls will you find? 5 will continue to use the product. 4 will lie to you and tell you they're doing something and they're not. Another 3 or 4, you probably hear from them a couple times and that'll be it. That's just the way that people are. That's why you need to sponsor 20 left and 20 right, to ensure that you have the 3 to 5 in each leg that will continue to go down and drive the business. Because remember that your role is to keep on putting new associates through the system. This industry rewards loyalty. It separates pretenders from contenders. It separates people that are provisionally committed from those that are committed. Commitment means this: what you do that you said that you would do long after the mood has left you. Let me say that again. Commitment means this: that you do what you said that you would do long after the mood has left you. So many people, in a moment of ecstasy, they make commitments. Oh, I'm gonna be diamond. That's until their favorite TV show comes on. I'm gonna be at the next presentation. Well, my mother-in-law that I don't like anyways in town, so I have to go. I'm gonna go running today, but it's cold outside. Guess what? That means you get cold. That's what commitment means. So, again, in the next 2 to 5 years, can you find 40 people that are serious about changing their lives? Anybody can, or should be able to. But the only way to fail is to quit. When you throw in that white towel, I quit. You know what? I don't know of one person that's ever gone and left Talk Fusion and gone to any other company and never did anything spectacular, or ever went on in life to do anything spectacular. I don't know of them. Diamond Rush worksheet allows you to track your progress. You write down the names, 20 left, 20 right. You'll see your chart. If that chart's not filling up, it means you're not talking to enough people. It's just that simple. How do you find leadership? You define them by their actions. Here's what a leader is to me. A leader to me is somebody that shows initiative, that they take guidance, they have a good positive attitude, they don't puke, they don't have excuses, they invite people, they're looking to improve, they surround themselves with happy people, they're honest, they have good integrity, they always protect the reputation of the company, they're honest. Those people are in your organization. They may not always be the people that you sponsor, but they're in your organization. So you have to go down and build in depth. And this is what I was talking about by working with your... Here, let me give you an example. Let's just say that I sponsored men, right? And men was no good. Men's one of the best we have, so you know what I'm saying. Don't let it go to his head, though. And then he sponsored Rob, right? And let's just say Rob wasn't done. But Rob's one of the best we have, too. And then Rob sponsored Leslie, and Leslie was my ace, my hot trot, right? Then that means that I worked with Leslie. They led me to Leslie. There's an old expression, stinkers can be linkers. Doesn't have to be, remember this business, you need one great person left, one great person right? 2 legs. So you build depth in your organization. That's how you do it. And again, the key to doing it is by being one yourself. That's how you do it. What's the magic moment? The magic moment in this business is when your new associate equates Talk Fusion to their dreams. Like, man, here, I know I can do the 4 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4. Which would be all of you in here, right? We proved that, right? So then all you have to do is teach your people the same thing. When they do it, the results will come. But you have to do the right steps. That's the magic moment when they turn around and they never think of quitting again. You should commit to working this business for at least 1 year. You can't become anything worthwhile in life in less than a year, really. I mean, you're not going to be a doctor, you're not going to be an attorney, you're not going to be a professional. Show me anything. It's a crime when people come into this industry, they work for a week and then give up. And then they blame the industry. Blame yourself. Don't blame me, blame yourself. Go quit on something else. Quitter? That's what happens. But I don't let people blame blame us, and neither should you, because you should be leading by example. You know you should unturn every possible stone that you have to try to help somebody. That way you know that you did your best and that you tried. So really, if you're serious about your business, this is what you'll do. You get plugged in to the opportunity presentation. Invite all your prospects there. Even if you don't have a prospect there, you should be there because you learn this way. Because one day you'll be doing them yourself. Make sure you participate in the Diamond Rush training webinars that we talk about all the time. The executive broadcast each month. Make sure you're there. Because guess what? If you're not there, your team is not going to be there either. If they don't hear you or see you, oh, well, it's okay. If Min's not there, then I'm not going to be there. And then be active and make sure you come to corporate events like this. I promise you this. There has never been a top leader in the history of any network marketing company that does not come to events. Events build leaders. It builds belief. The people with the biggest checks are the people that have the most people here. So make sure, that's a hint, our next Believe event in Tampa, if you're not registered yet. Monthly red carpet. We have a big one coming up very soon. We have our newsletter launch very soon. Make sure that you attend there on the 1st, right? This is important. Let's talk about gear for 1 second. How much does Nike pay any of you to wear their shirts? Eyes on. It's the weirdest thing to me when people go out and wear their clothing or what have you. It's like your last name is Nike. You should make sure that you brand yourself accordingly. I mean, I'm a little biased, but we have a cool logo, right? So people ask me all the time, what is Talk Fusion? Oh, let me ask you this. I help people make money. Let me ask you this question. If you had all the money in the world and all the free time to enjoy it, how would your life be different? You know what I call that person? They're done. That means they're in this business. You ask me what Talk Fusion is, I gotcha. You should be doing the same thing. When you're doing video emails, you should be wearing a Talk Fusion shirt. You should be wearing a Talk Fusion hat. Our gear, I mean, for goodness sakes, we give it to you right about at cost. It's cheap on purpose. Because the value is not in the gear, it's what the gear represents. It's the brand. Does everybody understand that? Let's talk about something else. Fusion Buzz. We're going to give one of these to you as you're leaving. But if you don't have these, this is sexy. With a capital S. It is good when you're talking to people and they ask, what is Talk Fusion? This talks about the company. This talks about the product. This talks about the industry. This talks about success stories. Plus, there's a really cool DVD on the back called The Answer. Do you know why I called it The Answer? It's the answer that you've been looking for. It's the answer to your dreams. It's the answer to self-fulfillment. That's what this is. But you want to know the most important part about this? It can be duplicated. Anybody can hand this out. But you can't hand them out unless you have them. They're cheap. A couple bucks, I think. Everybody understand the importance of this. But most of you don't have them though. So you need to take a peek. And for those of you that say we need it in 4 languages, build the business, we can get them into different languages. But make sure that you hand these out. It's called the Fusion Buzz. It is so So very important. Who's ready for a little bit more? Well, let me just tell you this real quick. Let me tell you a story that probably not many of you have heard. Who in the room would like to have a check like Minho's? Raise your hand. Yeah, if y'all knew what it was, all of you would have your hands up. The rest of you, I'll just say it's translation issues. Money's universal, baby. Here's a cool name for money. It's called Hip National. Hip National. That's where you keep your wallet, right? So, Min's been in the company about 2 years now. When he got started, he was doing things all wrong. He was. He was a template building machine, a video email template building machine. And my God, were they ugly. They really were ugly. Here's what he did wrong. And I don't fault Min, because when Min was brought into the business, the person that brought him in wasn't paying attention. So by the time he came across my desk, I said, Min, here's what you have to do to properly build your business. I was in the process at that time of putting together the Diamond Rush guide. It was not out yet. But I was putting it together. I said, you have to invite. You have to, let's get into presentations. To do 3-way calls. He heard my words the first time, but he didn't get them here the first time. And the way that I found out is by accident. I'll tell you, it's funny how life works sometimes. I saw an email that somebody sent to corporate, and it was a list of about 10 templates that somebody was asking him to build so that this business could, quote, see what their template would look like before they wanted to buy the product. So I called him up, and I'm like, Min, what are you doing? You like where your check is? Well, no, Bob, I don't. I said, okay, let's do it my way then. You commit to doing it my way? He goes, yes. So then we got to work. And boy, I stayed on him like a cheap suit. And drove him. He wasn't easy at first, though. He was too stubborn. He'll tell you he was stubborn. I'll tell you he was stubborn. But we drove the business, and once it connected with him, easy from there on. It's history. Then he sponsored Rob. Rob came. Guess what Rob decided to do? The Diamond Rush. Why was Rob doing the Diamond Rush? Because Min was doing the Diamond Rush. Why would Rob do the Diamond Rush? Because Min said, this is what has created my success. Bob was telling Rob that's what created his success. So when Rob sponsored Leslie, guess what? Doing the Diamond Rush. After I smacked her hand for doing her training videos. No need to do training videos. We do training videos. So Leslie turned the corner. She's top earner. So the lesson is this. If you want to create champions, you must be a champion in making yourself. Does that make sense to you? All right, we're almost done. Okay, again, so I want to ask everybody this. I just want to make sure. I want you to look around before we go. Everybody can do step one, right? Listen, I didn't ask you if you wanted to buy insurance policy. Everybody can do step one, right? Everybody can do step two, right? Step three, right? Step three, right? Just making sure y'all paying attention. guide, do not do it. The rule is this, as I said before, it's not whether it works for you, but whether it can be duplicated by everybody. So I want each of you to always remember what we did here today when I asked you, can you do step 1? Yes. Step 2, yes. Step 3, yes. Step 4, yes. I proved to each and every single one of you that you can do this business. I've laid it out for you. I've told you what to do. I told you how to do it. I told you what to say. I told you what not to say. I told you what to do. I told you when to do it. I told you when not to do it. I told you who you should talk to. I told you who you shouldn't talk to. I've given you everything from 23 years of knowledge. I put it out there for you. So now, it's just up to you. So what I'm going to be looking for is a whole new team of people going diamond out of this event. And I look forward to handing you the keys to your new Mercedes at the Believe event in April. It's more than 200 days, and let me just tell you this too. Don't buy into this nonsense as the holidays, and no. People still have dreams on holidays, right? Think about it. Whether it's Christmas, or in the States it's Thanksgiving, or any other holidays, remember, always continue to work for your dreams. People depend upon you. Does that make sense? Everybody got it? So one more time, step 1. Step 2. Step 3. Step 4. So are you ready to make the cut? Are you ready to make the cut? There's hope for this crowd yet. So as we're wrapping up, it's been a great event. It's been very heartwarming. To hear the dreams that have been fulfilled and the many dreams and wishes which are yet still unfulfilled. We have a lot of work to do as a company. So I ask that you join me in making sure that Talk Fusion continues to be known as a company that is reputable, one that has integrity, but yet one which is leading the way. We've done really well. But there's a long way to go, right? More people than ever need us now. They need a helping hand. They need to get their dreams back. So when we go back home, we promise we'll work harder than ever. We have the newsletters getting ready to come out, and I'm telling you, just when you see that product, I know it's going to make you smile. I know it's going to help everybody here. It'll help your checks get bigger and loftier, and help get ranks higher than you've never thought possible. So I just, again, it's
when you come to these events, it's easy to say hello. But it's very hard to say goodbye. So again, thank you for letting me take part in your dreams. I carry that with me in my heart, always will. And I look forward to heading back to corporate office to continue to make the company even better than what we are, to help more people around the world. So again, I'll say not goodbye, I have to say goodbye for now. And I look forward to seeing you in Tampa and I believe. So thank you, everybody.